Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Syafiqah binti Abdul Halim with metric number A19EC3025. In this video presentation, I would like to present my project Sarjana Muda 2 entitled Augmented Reality Apps for Preschool Children to Learn Syllable in Bahasa Melayu. This project was under supervised Dr. Gols. Moving on to the problem background of this project, preschool children have been able to recognize consonant and vowel alphabet and pronounce single syllable. However, when syllable were combined in the form of consonant vowel and consonant vowel to create new words, some children encountered difficulties in correctly sounding out the word. They often forgot the first syllable when attempting to pronounce the entire word. This inability to pronounce consonant vowel and consonant vowel syllable hindered their progress in achieving their basic reading skill. The project aimed to develop an application using AR technology to facilitate the learning of syllable in the Bahasa Melayu subject for preschool children. The objective of this project were to study the conventional technique used to teach syllable on how it can be effectively transformed and delivered using AR technology. The next one is to develop and design an attractive Android application that could motivate preschool children to learn open and closed syllable. The last one is to evaluate the functionality of the application among preschool children from 5 to 6 years old. There are 4 project scopes that has been defined. The first one is the targeted user for the application were 5 to 6 years old student. Next, the proposed application was an Android mobile application. The third one is this application required touch input for the interaction. The last one, quizzes were included in this application for students to answer and test their understanding of syllable. The importance of this project was that preschool children able to learn Bahasa Melayu syllable in an interactive and immersive way. They will also can test their understanding by answering the syllable and short quiz. Moving on to the next chapter, which is the methodology choices and justification. For this project, rapid application development has been chosen as the methodology because of the time constraint. Because there are just two semesters to accomplish this project, it is advisable to utilize RAD because it accelerates the process by constantly testing the prototype until the final application is produced. Furthermore, this is the detailed explanation of each phase. This project begins with study AR application for learning Bahasa Melayu syllable among preschool. Next, designing the storyboard and prototyping application for learning Bahasa Melayu syllable among preschool children. The third phase was integrated AR application for preschool children to learn Bahasa Melayu syllable. And lastly is evaluation on effectiveness of AR application on Bahasa Melayu syllable. The next phase of this project was the implementation phase, where all the markers was incorporated. Started with the implementation of marker in AR. Integration of Vuforia SDK into the AR tracking process was necessary. Image target became a critical part of displaying AR experience in the real world. By incorporating the Vuforia developer mode database into each image target, accurate recognition and tracking were made possible. This breakthrough allows virtual content to be seamlessly placed in the real world using image target, creating immersive and engaging AR interaction. So for the marker-based interaction, by utilizing a 2D marker, the AR scene directly showcases a 3D object on each unique image target. The project consists of 20 markers, including 10 of syllable marker, contributing to the overall AR experience. Next, this marker also can produce a 3D object based on the syllable when they were packed correctly. The project incorporated 10 distinct 3 objects that will appear in response to their respective image target. So the 3D object will display precisely on top of the marker as long as the marker were correctly packed. In case user match unpacked marker, an error sign object will appear to indicate the mismatch. Moving on to the implementation of quiz gameplay, which is one of the project scope for this project. Within the main menu, user had the freedom to click on the quiz button at their convenience. The quiz within the AR experience comprises 5 questions, all focus on the implementation of syllable learning. Users were required to answer all the questions given, and their final score was presented at the end of the quiz session. In response to users selecting incorrect or correct answer, the answer choices would trigger corresponding visual cues. If a user chose the wrong answer, the answer button would promptly turn red, while if user choose the correct answer, the answer button promptly turn to green. So this will alert them that the answer was correct or not. So for the interface design played a vital role as it had the potential to impact user behavior and their interaction with the application features and function in terms of functionality and also user experience. A well-designed interface was at utmost important as it had the power to influence user behavior and the way user engage with the application features and function, affecting both functionality and user experience. So the first picture here shows the main menu of the interface. This one is the interface when user click on the cara bermain button, and the third interface was the interface when user click on the info button right here. So for the project setup, this is aimed to facilitate the marker interaction in the application. The setup involved using a mobile device to access the application. 2D marker were incorporated to enable interaction with the AR scene within the application. Next phase is the testing phase. Before starting the testing and evaluation session, it was essential to ensure proper organization of the experiment setup. So in the screen shows how the testing or experiment setup should be done. 2D markers and mobile device were the most crucial items for this session. Okay, moving on to the experiment scenario. Once the participants were ready to access the application, the evaluation process started. The project setup was carefully arranged and configured to make it convenient for the participant to engage with and evaluate the application. So this is the first step where user access the application on mobile device, which direct them to the main menu interface. The interface featured 5 buttons, as you can see in the first picture, so that the user could choose any button from. By clicking on the cara bermain button, user were able to access all the instructions on how to use the application as shown in the second picture. The third one, after choosing the Imbas AR button, user were directed to the AR scene where marker tracking took place. The marker was strategically positioned near the participant to ensure convenient access once the AR scene finished loading. Following their exploration of the AR scene, respondents also had the opportunity to deepen their understanding and transitioning the question section. Through clicking on the quiz button, users actively participate in answering questions from the quiz. Also, by clicking on the keluar button, users were able to exit the application. Once all the testing of the application was complete, the respondents, who were all children 5 to 6 years old, were asked to fill out the evaluation form. To indicate their response in the evaluation scale, they were instructed to affix stickers representing different scales. So this is the section A of questionnaire analysis, which is the pre-experiment result. The first chart depicted the gender distribution of respondents with a higher number of female rather than male. The second chart displayed the age distribution of respondents, indicating that 6 years old respondents outnumbered 5 years old with 60% and 40% respectively. Chart number 3 presented respondents' experience with AR, revealing that the majority, 70%, has had prior exposure to AR, while the remaining 30% had no experience in this domain. The last chart in this slide shows that explored their AR background further and found that 60% of respondents had familiarity with the game industry AR, while 30% had not been exposed to any field. So this is the question analysis for section B, which is the post-experiment result. The application performance was assessed on linear scale ranging from 1, which is strongly disagree, to 5, strongly agree. After the exploration, chart 1 shows that 30% of respondents agree and 20% strongly agree and 10% responded disagree, while 15 strongly disagree with using the application regularly. Next, respondents will ask about their perception of the instruction provided. Chart 2 indicates that the majority of respondents, 6 in total, strongly agree, while 5 responded agree that the instruction in application were easy to understand. However, 2 respondents disagree or strongly disagree, expressing the need for additional time and training to effectively utilize the application. Based on the integration of AR in the application, respondents will ask questions as shown in the chart 3, presented the result regarding the inclusion of 3D object in the application. 40 of them strongly agree, while 10 of them disagree with the statement that say this application appear the 3D object smoothly. Moving to the fourth chart, 7 of them strongly agree and 3 of them agree that the provided marker were easily detected by the camera. Meanwhile, 3 of them disagree with the statement. Next, the first chart showed that 30% of respondents strongly agree and 20% of them agree that this application gives instant feedback after answering quizzes. Meanwhile, 20% of these respondents disagree and 5 of them strongly disagree that this application could give fast feedback after answering all the questions. The last question inquired about the respondent feedback on playing the application. In response, 8 of respondents strongly agree, while 20% of them disagreed with feeling excited to learn using this application. So this is the blackboard testing table where there were 11 steps that the respondent need to do and evaluate the event based on each respondent. From the table, tab number 2, there are 6 respondents will not manage to appear the 3D object because 6 of them have no experience on using AR technology, so they don't know that they need to place the camera to the marker. Next, for the step number 9, there are 4 respondents not able to find the info button, so that they cannot view what is the content of info button have. So moving on to chapter 6, which is the project achievement. Overall, the objective that stated in the chapter 1 was successfully achieved, which is the first one. You can say that the study's initial goal is to analyze the conventional method of teaching syllable and explore its transformation and efficient delivery through AR technology. Next, the study's second aim was to create a user-friendly mobile app which is successful, that use augmented reality technology to teach Bahasa Melayu to preschooler. And then the last one is the project involved assessing the testing app with intense user 5 to 6 years old children. So this is where all the testing were done for 5 to 6 years old students. So for the constraint and limitation, the application has a limitation regarding occasional marker detection difficulties, which can cause challenges in display the 3D game object, the 3D object. Next, the second limitation is the need to reduce the list of syllables due to time constraint, such as unavailability of certain 3D object and also time limitation. The third one is it support only for one user at a time, where it's lacking collaborative activities to promote teamwork. Additionally, the absence of competitive element in this application restricts the opportunity for a competitive learning experience. For suggestion for the future improvement, the first one is to resolve the flickering issue of AR game object. Adjusting the AR camera setting is a promising solution. Next, incorporating animation instead of static object can enhance the appeal of 3D object, making them more engaging. So the third one is the current application version has a fixed set of syllable, but there is potential for future expansion by adding more syllable to the repertoire would provide user with a comprehensive language learning. Will also allow them to explore a wider range of pattern and structure in Bahasa Melayu language. That also can expansion would deepen their understanding and proficiency in the language. So that's all for my video presentation of my project Sarjana Muda 2. Thank you so much for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.